Hey everybody, this is how committed we are to giving you content every single week. Sitting here in my Buick Enclave in a park in Neenah, Wisconsin, Fox Crossing, and I didn't want to drive all the way to the studio, so I thought if we can give you good audio quality, you don't mind looking at us like this. Heck, Kyle, I want to see you out on a trail sometime on your bike. Let's do it.
Boy, what a precarious thing that would be. But I'm all for it. It's gorgeous now. Um, and you know what? Just so that everyone knows, Jimmy's been out on the road, working with people, working with clients this afternoon, and we were just talking about how much we absolutely love it. I mean, every once in a while we get a chance to go into the stores and the companies that we're working with, or get to see them at trade shows and things, and it for us it that's one of our favorite things because it we're very relational, we're very personal, and so when you get to be on the ground and see,
And modest, and modest.
yeah, modest, yeah, modest, yeah, but hey, we get to see people in their environment and see how slow growth over time can absolutely change
Yeah.
someone's business. And hey, we're just proselytizing stuff that we have been taught that works. So
It's a blast, and it's literally a lifeline. If you need a lifeline, hopefully your ship isn't sinking, but if it is, you give us a call. If it's not sinking and you just want it to sail better, give us a call for that too. But today, I love this topic. Thank you for bringing this up. We events lately seem to be kind of falling off a little bit in participation, customers, special events, open houses, trunk shows, that type of thing. Just share a little bit about your thoughts and what you've seen.
let me share with you where the impetus of this really came from. We actually got it from a listener. Shout out to Rebecca. Thanks for writing to us. And she was talking about this in an email where she said, for some reason, we struggle when it comes to events and trunk shows. We feel like we're doing all that we can when it comes to preparing way in advance, getting the word out, emails, texts, etc. We just can't get people through the door. Any tips or advice in that area? Um, and truth be told, like you said, Jimmy, this is not the first time we've heard this. And I'll tell you what, my knee-jerk reaction lately is that people may be getting kind of evented out a little bit.
Yeah,
This
like they
comes
got zoomed out a few years back.
exactly. Yeah, so after COVID, so everyone's locked up in COVID, then we all sort of venture out of our homes a bit, and every retail store, especially luxury, was like, let's do events. So they started doing trunk shows and special ladies' nights and men nights, and there's just like one after another, and that was fun. But can you sustain that? Do people want to keep doing that? And I have sensed and heard, I don't have like numbers or anything, that people in general are having a harder time getting people through the door. I've seen it in our retail business where
Yeah.
event may not have as huge of a turnout. So when I
Yep.
hear
Yep.
that, my first thought is this. When you look at events that you're doing, which I hope if you're doing them with some regularity, you can compare your last event with the one that you did like it the year before. So if you're comparing those two events, the first thing that I would have you look at is not the number of bodies that walked through the door, but the dollars that went through the drawer. What can you track that was sold at the event or because of the event? Okay. That's what tells you if it's a boom or a bust. What I found when I did this, there was one event that we had in particular that the first year that we did this, it was like a wine tasting after hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
The place out, okay? Let's say, I'm not making up this number, but like say the first year we had like 50 people one night, okay? And then the next few years go by and the attendance dropped off. Until the very final year that we did it, we had about 25 people. So it was like half. Again, I'm making up the exact numbers, but it was like half the attendance of the first year. And we were like, man, this event really sucks. It was doing so well. What happened? Then we looked at the number of dollars that came through the door because of the event. It was the exact same. It was told us that, well, that first year that we had everybody who came in half of the people who showed up didn't buy anything anyways. They were probably there for the free booze.
Right, right. The
Okay.
wrong metrics. We're using the wrong metrics there.
If we're doing sales events, track your sales.
Yeah,
So if your sales haven't decreased as a result of a lower attendance, then is the event really a bust? Or should you just maybe re-tailor the event to make it a little bit more exclusive, a little bit more VIP, maybe a little bit more clienteled? Could be the wrong time, or if you've been putting it at the same time every year and you're seeing both of those metrics drop off,
yeah.
then maybe it's just time to say that then this event ran its course and you need to retire it.
It's really funny. You started talking, and I'm a busybody. So what do? I grab this nice little cloth out of my little uh, tray here, and I kind of start wiping off the chrome of my car. And as I'm doing it, I look, and it's Artinian Gems. Okay. Now, this is my good friend David Artinian in California, and this is for jewelers. Um, right when COVID hit, David Artinian, what he did was he looked at the trunk show scenario that we have. And, hey, we can't have a trunk show, but I can put a gemstone on a tape turntable with a Zoom meeting with a client one on one, and I can have events that way. And he did that. And I'll tell you what, um, those gemstone events have been extremely successful for some jeweler friends of mine, and I'm talking extremely successful. So you scaled down the whole, men's night, ladies' night kind of thing, scaled it, pared it way down, and the sales were way better, you know, way better. So that advice. I've seen it in practice, and it works phenomenally. One of the other things that I think of is um, maybe well, if you're inviting people to events, if it's going to be a party, make it a party. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the same old isn't going to do it for customers anymore. Maybe the gift bag thing and things like that. But also the event needs to be something that people want to go to, not that they come to out of obligation. And then the other piece of advice, and maybe I'm kind of shooting my whole information bucket here, but the other piece of advice is you've got to make one-on-one phone calls, flyers, mailers, all that stuff. It's not going to do it as well. It's good in the media mix, but you've got to have personal invitation phone calls. And I know that's leading right into something that you've got in mind.
Yeah.
Right now. I'm baiting you here.
With that bit of advice that you're sharing, you're talking about really scaling down. I mean, David did such a great job of this. He flexed so well during COVID. It was phenomenal for the jewelry industry what he did, and is continuing to do. And he's able to tailor it still. He's great. But he was able to scale down and help people sell. When you're having an event, as you alluded to, when you have events, you want them to be something that people go to. When you scale down and you're bringing the focus to what the reason that you're hosting the event, you want an event that people come to, as you alluded to, but you also have a very important function at that event, and that is to make sales. If you are not making sales at the event, then why are you doing the event? You could maybe get me on board with like an open house, maybe, where you're like, I just want a lot of people through the door so that it feels comfortable and having a good time, and you just bring people.
Yeah. We're going to measure sales over the next 2 months from this event.
But I said maybe because, okay, so you give away a bunch of free swag and you get a bunch of people through your door. Are they the people that are coming through your door who would be buying from you? Right? When I was a kid, my dad and my mom would go, they would love to take us to open houses in real estate because they just liked going into other people's homes, I guess, and snooping around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like what we did on the Sunday, like they'd see an open house and they're like, oh, I want to go see what that looks like and get ideas for our house. We were never going to buy a house. We were not the customer that the real estate agent wanted. In the same way, why would you have a whole bunch of people lined up outside your business just to have a big wraparound event when 2/3 of them are not there to buy? They're the wrong
Did
people.
Don just want the free cookies?
Absolutely. My dad. So, in the same way, you don't need looky-loos, you need sales in your business. So, I'm hard pressed to believe that when you're doing an event, you need to look at sales, which leads me into if you're going to have an event, really focus on clienteling, like Jimmy talked about, and on closing sales. Put product in people's hands, have them experience it, touch it, and feel it, and then close the sale at the event. If that's not happening, and if you can't trace a return on your investment dollars from the event because of the sales at that event, then I would go, well, then why are you doing it? What's the point? If it's just to get bodies through the door and make your business look busier, that's just kind of ego stroking it, to be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah.
truthfully. And we've had this where people go, I just want more traffic. I need more traffic. I need more traffic. And I go, but are you capturing sales with the traffic you already got? Are you closing
Right.
people who are walking through your door now? If not,
Yeah.
then you're just asking for looky-loos. You're asking for guys like my dad who want the free cookies.
Okay. So, all right. So a lot of people, particularly jewelers, right, folks, we come from the jewelry industry. Of course, this can translate across any type of retail, but a lot of traffic comes from in jewelry stores from repairs. So what's something you would do to capture a repair customer turn into a sale?
Yeah, so I like you're using this for repairs in the jewelry business because typically in jewelry, the repair business of a jewelry business is going to account for a lot of traffic, people picking up things that need fixing, sizing, etc. So a lion's share of traffic will come from repairs. So if that's for you, if you're not in jewelry and you're listening to this, look at what accounts for the lion's share of your traffic. Foot traffic. I mean, in a mechanic shop, are just oil changes or inspections? Is it, you know, people walking in to kill some time to get out of the heat because you're a tourist? I mean, think about what's bringing people regularly through the door. In this case, what I would have jewelry stores do, mine included, is when you have someone coming in to pick up a repair, what can you show that person that makes sense for that person to curate, let's say a mini event for that person to have an experience and that leads to a sale. So for repairs, what I'd have my team do is go look at the repair itself that they're going to come in and pick up. You can see their jewelry, they're about to pick it up. So you get a sense of their style. Look at our current stock. Go find a piece that would complement that piece that they're picking up. And when they pick it up, go, can I show you something amazing that would go with your ring? Come here. Then go put a necklace on them. Make it a big showy one. Make it something. Make an experience that they're going to touch it, to feel it, experience it, so that when they leave, they're having a story. And the story is either you'll never believe what I walked out of the store with today, honey.
Right. Right. Yep.
Or at worst, if it doesn't end in a sale, you have a customer walking out feeling flattered, going, you'll never believe what I got to do. I wore this, and then they put this big 3-carat diamond on me. It was I've never even touched a 3-carat diamond. It was on me. It was amazing.
Yep.
That's what you do. Create mini events with the people who are coming in for whatever reason the traffic is in your business. Make it a memorable experience by connecting them with the pieces of whatever it is you're selling that's already in stock in your business. Show it to them and let them walk away with a story.
All right, so I want to add a third benefit to that approach, and that is not only do they walk away feeling good, not only might you get the sale, but third, you may start a conversation. And that conversation may be, you know what? I'm not liking that so much, but what I've always wanted was, or do you guys have, it starts the conversation. So there's 3 real benefits. There's no negative to that approach at all, because what you're doing is you're their friend in the business.
It just so happens that my team recently did an event that also had really bad attendance, but was a highly successful one. And it just lines up perfectly with what we're talking about. And I'm going to give them 100% of the credit because they did the entire event. They ran it. They did it. So I'll tell you the details and what they told me would happen. So they ended up partnering with another business in town to do this joint event. Okay, it was like an after hours event. You know, we're going to have wine, there'll be food, and these two businesses, ours and the other, will have a chance to bring in the other business's clientele. So the other business was going to bring in the clientele, and then we bring in the jewelry, and we're going to have fun, make it kind of like, you know, just like a house party thing. So it sounds fun, like a fun event, and I would have bet a few years ago it would have been well attended. And they had a cap like 20 customers, and they were like, we're going to have 20 people there, and it's just going to be really a lively event. 5 people showed up. So we had more people working the event from the two businesses than actually showed up to be sold to. And the first was like, oh my gosh, oh, this is awkward. This is not working. The event sucked.
It
Like,
just
oh my,
crush you.
it crushes you because you're like, oh man, this is terrible. Except for the 5 people who showed up, had a blast. Turns into, it cost the team all of like 2 hours and a little bit of time away from the office. Ended up in almost $7,000 in sales. Why? Because they had a chance to just connect with 5 people. And those 5 people left having a great time, and we were laughing. And I just popped in for a minute, and we were just laughing, and we had a glass of wine together. And what happened was exactly what you said, Jimmy. Someone came in. They go, I've never wanted like that, what you're showing me, but I've always wanted this. They came in the next day and they bought that from us as a result. So was that event a bust? Well, maybe we wouldn't do it again because it wasn't highly attended. But let me tell you what, as far as the sales go, it was phenomenal. We didn't put anything out for it.
Yeah.
We just had a good time. It was about connecting. So my message for people today is, if you're listening to this and you're wondering, how do I improve my events? Step back from the event for a moment, track your sales. Let that be your measure to decide whether or not it really is a stinky event. If sales are down, then okay, yeah, retire it. Maybe it's time for something else. If the sales are still producing profit, then reimagine it and going, maybe it doesn't need to be such a large scale thing. Maybe 5 people in a room with a glass of wine and a bottle of wine is all I need to make this really successful.
Yep.
The thing about you or I sitting at home on social media, which we never are, and you get a postcard, or I get a postcard from a jewelry store or retail business, and it's like, hey, we've got an event this weekend. We're going to have sales and we'll have free wine. Am I going to get up off my couch to go to it? I probably wouldn't go for a free glass of wine.
Right.
I wouldn't, just to be honest. And I also know that if I'm going into a business to go for an event, it just means you're going to sell me something. And if I'm not in the market to buy, then I'm not going to go, right? Unless I'm my dad and I want the free cookies. You know?
Right.
No slight there. But would I get up and go to lunch with someone I've done business with who wants to just connect? Absolutely. If my financial advisor texts me and says, let's go grab some coffee, I'd probably go, all right, Steve, let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If the guy who works and services my vehicles said, let's just go, because I know him, and he goes, let's just go grab a drink. Sure, man. Awesome. Let's go. So I would connect that way. And is that a lost sale because you didn't have 50 people through the door? No. To your point, like, I bet you'd probably feel the same way about if someone called you and made a personal connection, or they invited you to be something that was a little bit more personal than just come have some free cookies and wine.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I would instantly think? I would think, I probably wants my advice on something. I better.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
Well, good. I hope folks that maybe think about your events in a whole new way and look for those serendipities of really truly connecting with customers in a different way than than bodies through the door.
I hope this has been helpful. Just take another look at your events and consider, is it really a bust if you don't have a bunch of people, and if you have waning dollars, well, maybe it's okay to finally ditch the event and instead create mini events out of every experience that you can with your best people or the traffic already walking through your door, right? So there you go.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yeah,
Hey, let's do this again next week.
sounds good, buddy. See you then.